Well, I'm deeply ashamed this week by what is going on in KwaZulu-Natal. Having spent 27 years in exile, some of it in Botswana, in Zambia, in Tanzania, in Morocco, always being warmly welcomed. What's happening there frightens me. And I couldn't help but think back 30 or more years to the aims of the emergent modern trade union movement in South Africa and its links with communities. Now, these links were not on party lines, but on the basis of an injury to one being an injury to all. And it really was the essence of Ubuntu, that much abused term. And had that existed, and had the unions still been on the ground there, I would like to think that what happened in the past week would have been at least mitigated, but probably would not have happened at all. Unfortunately, the unions, by and large, became bureaucratized. We now face allegations of corruption, of mismanagement, and internal squabbling. And we look at this week's news. Not only the xenophobia, also the South African Transport and Allied Workers Union, one of the leaders in Germiston, being shot to death, the president of the union being firebombed. We have Nomura Bank saying that there are 145,000 mine jobs at risk. I think that may be a bit exaggerated, but nonetheless there are tens of thousands of jobs that are probably going to go over the next year or so. And at the same time, we've had also the whole business of the various statues, which seems to be the emergence or the re-emergence of a sort of ahistoric nationalism with people who don't actually know what the statues are about and merely want to remove them. I don't know. But it's not all doom and gloom. In fact, this is an important month on the labour front because there have been improvements, amendments, I happen to see them as improvements, to the Labour Relations Act, to the labour laws. They came in January, and in fact, on the 1st of April, this month, we actually have the laws amended which make life a lot better and clearer for those people known as temporary employment services, for casuals, if you like. The casualisation of work is finally being dealt with. Now, whether that actually is enforced is another matter, because we've always had under Section 198 of the Labour Relations Act the fact that casual workers who are supplied by a labour broker should become the employees with all rights and benefits of that labour broker. It just was never enforced. But hopefully it now will. But there are other aspects to it, including the 3-month rule, etc. And this is what I intend to concentrate on in my Inside Labour column, which you can read on this platform tomorrow and on page 2 of the business section of City Press on Sunday. There'll be a lot to get your heads around. Get away from this. Think about something more positive. You may think it's negative. There are some people who are arguing that the 3-month rule before someone becomes a permanent employee is wrong. Let's hear from you. If you think so, I happen to think that it's a very good rule, especially since I'm dealing with a case at the moment of a man who worked delivering newspapers for 23 years. He was made redundant, retrenched in 1997, and then brought back, but they said as a sort of permanent casual, and was then given 1 month's notice, without any redundancy pay, without any retrenchment, without anything. And this is something that the law has now been now dealing with. So let's hear from you what you think of it. I happen to think it's a good idea. And you know where the comments go? To editor@fin24.com. That's editor@fin24.com. Let's hear from you. And for me, for this week, that's all. Cheers.